Me. I am a memoir. I said a memoir. The meaning of Mariah Carey.
Hello, Lamely. Welcome back to the meaning of Mariah Carey. Me, I am a memoir. Our very special deep dive into Mariah Carey's memoir. We are back in the book this week.
You've literally dived into the book.
We took quite a side trip to Daydream Island.
I want to go there.
I know. But we are now back in the book. We've got a whole new chapter this week, which is very exciting. Very juicy chapter. Yeah.
I've actually put in my notes like pause for you to
This is Fab, that's Posh, and we are going to barrel on with the Mariah themed news of the week that we call Mimi Moments.
Mimi moments. All right, so in our headlines this week, after mentioning Pride merch in her Twitter Spaces chat, Mariah has already got it out there, darlings.
Oh, yeah. It happened like in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah. So get to shopping. Mariah particularly enjoys the shade fan.
Oh, the shade fan.
The shade of it all.
So
now, Mariah tweeted an old video featuring her and Brandy asking whether they are doing these background vocals, Call Me. To non-Lamely, this is just like a fun, possible future collab. But to the Lambs, this is Mariah seeking revenge on Dionne Warwick for saying that Brandy is a legend. Dionne's about to find out what a legend really is, darlings.
I forgot about the Dionne Warwick shade.
Oh my God. Thankfully, we've got the big fan now.
Oh my
God. Now, Mariah has also punished Cha-Cha for attacking a toy lamb because Mariah will not tolerate this.
Oh no.
And besides,
poor Cha-Cha.
It's not even on the menu, as she states. Mariah has also turned down a role on Mindy Kaling's Never Have I Ever, stating... How could it make sense for a 12-year-old to be on a show about teenagers in the valley?
That is my favourite show. Have you watched it?
No. Actually.
Oh, it's heaven.
I mean, she hasn't actually turned it down. That was just me having creative license. But there was a tweet and Mariah was like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm only 12.
It is the most gorgeous show in the world. Yeah. Like, it is really cute.
I do like Mindy.
Oh, she's not even in it. This is how amazing it is. Like that she's managed to make a show that
she just likes
it.
She's like, oh, it's my favorite
amazing. Show. No, I think she wrote it. She's the executive producer. It's just the cutest show. It's on the Netflix, I think. I think it's one of their originals. Okay, but yeah, I loved it. It's, oh my God. It is, yeah.
Right, well, imagine Mariah on it as a 12-year-old.
Mariah would be amazing.
Now, we've got a couple of lead stories this week. Firstly, Mariah has ascended the stairs to the Supreme Court where she has ruled that Y2K is a little bitch. When tweeted... It's Y2K, whatever. When tweeted Y2K song Let It Off, which heavily samples / parodies Mariah's Shake It Off. With the caption,
what do you mean heavily samples? They just rapped
it's
over
the same,
top
literally the same song, yeah. That's why I said heavily, darling. I don't even think it's a full song. But the caption was, Mariah Carey has 24 hours to respond. Mariah responded, all right, with, how about y'all have 24 hours to respond to my lawyers? And then a little gif of GTFO. How about you have 24 hours to respond to my lawyers? We also had a second Twitter Spaces chat, and this is also brought back in this.
Right.
So
I think I accidentally logged on to that for a while.
You could hear Mariah, but that's not unusual for you.
No.
Why
is Mariah talking? Who are these other people? Oh, why am I in this?
I'm used to the Mariah voice in my head, but not all these other ones.
All these other people.
Now, this is fresh, so I'm just going to kind of read you the notes that I wrote. So there are so many fun things coming up. Not being promotional, darling. She's in a room dressed up like Christmas. It's nice to feel Christmassy after all the drama she goes through every day. Mariah then asks people to guess her favourite song, but she doesn't really answer it, like if only one remained, and then that turned into they have to pick 3 of her albums, which then kind of turned into a Taylor Swift style owning of masters conversation. And it's like, is Mariah maybe doing some re-records? And then she says, did you see the thing we Shake It Off? If so, thoughts? Then the visuals were not enticing for me. Then says, we love everybody and they're welcome for a new career. Now we have a little MC30 as well. She says she ain't going anywhere. She ain't going nowhere. Definitely there'll be something at Christmas. There's some new stuff. There's something else to enhance MC30. Ooh. She talks about writing her truth in the book, how everyone's connected and you can't trust any of them. That some people don't agree with her truth. Others were liberated by it. Mariah also wants to do a thing for the Lamley, like the Twitter Spaces thing, but where that they can play some games and have little song-offs and things like that. She can leave messages like the old days. She mentions the corporate morgue a few times, so that seems to still be existing. This is Mariah, I really would love more interaction with my actual fans. I don't need the nonsense of the playing of the games because I'm not having the games. And I think she might have been quoting a bit of Aretha. There was an impression happening. Then we have a moment where she's talking about not having a real family besides rock and roll, and that the Lamley is the family. And she this towards the end, she says, everyone around you makes you feel not the greatest. So I think there's some shit going down in Mariah's world. I don't want to speculate too hard.
She needs to fire people quicker.
Yeah. Assistant number 30.
Assistant 332. The door's over there. Please, can you give me all the passwords to my socials before you go?
But I mean, that was the shade of the YTK was just too much for me to leave out.
It was too camp. I mean, that video is confronting,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. So Mariah's not having it.
I suspect that's one of those things where she's like, "You licensed that? Like, don't I own this?" Smuggler's got
especially
his fingers in
when it's especially when it's an actual exact sample like that. You got to get mechanical. I'm in the middle of that, and that is not easy, especially for someone like Mariah Carey. If you're just sort of riffing or covering with a brand new production, it's different. But to get the actual sample is a whole other ballgame.
Oh yeah, that's expensive.
But that does bring us to the end of Mimi Moments.
Oh, well, that was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome for your new career.
So we better have a recap because it's been quite some time since we did a chapter.
I know. What even is a book?
Feels like about 3 months since we read
I don't know. I
book.
forgot how to read suddenly.
Oh, that's right. Like, as I listened to it, I didn't have to read it.
Yeah. How about a recap? A recap. Would you like a recap?
So here's a recap. Mariah went up on the roof with Derek Jeter. Tommy threatened her with a knife in front of, we suspect, Snuffleupagus. But that's only a suspicion. Suspicion! It's a suspicion.
Yeah. Welcome to Sesame Street.
That's a suspicion. That's when you have a very suspicious house inspection. It was a suspicion.
I think you've had a few suspections in your time.
I had one on the way here.
In the back room.
In the back room. Oh my God, don't. Oh, I don't want to tell that story about what happened at Aldi.
In the meat section.
Everything's pre-packaged in the meat section. It's not okay. So, yes, we have some suspicions about what went on in the last... Because it was, there was some big shizen going on in our triple DP.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes shizen happens in a triple DP.
In a triple DP, well, yeah. Everything happens in a triple DP. All right, are you ready for the gist?
I am, always.
All right. A quickie divorce, consummation, and the notorious B.I.G. Has anyone said Notorious B.I.G. in such a camp way before?
Notorious B.I.Z. snap is what just happened.
I thought I was being all street and rap, and I just became the queeniest person on the face of the
I did actually, just because I couldn't get all of the letters out of my head, my little addition to the gist is Mariah leaves TD for DJ, but just gets D. We should all be so lucky.
You are problematic with your many letters. All right, it's time to break it on down.
Break me on down. All right, we are nearing the end of Sing Sing. Freedom is so close.
I can smell it.
Oh my God. We are on Just Like Honey.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm singing it in my head already. Let's just get into it. So the rendezvous with Derek helped crumble Tommy's control over Mariah as Derek was completely outside of Tommy's world. The roof video and the song painted a deep and very accurate picture of Mariah's experience. Raw and sexy. Mainly raw. Due to the... Due to
raw dogging in the Mariah world. It just doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, it wasn't anyway. Due to the video's old school 80s hip hop vibe, not a common era to reprise in 1998, darling.
No, darling.
Mariah sent her
Because it had just happened.
It just happened. It was last week. Especially in Mariah time, it had literally just happened. So Mariah sent her stylist down to Vinnie's for some trackies. She's like, can't get those trackies in the shops anymore.
Did they pick up a 12-inch vinyl? I used to get so many good vinyls from Vinnie's.
Oh, really?
I remember getting the No More Tears, Enough Is Enough Barbara Streisand on a summer 12-inch at Vinnie's.
Did you forget
why would you throw this away?
Close bracket. Why would anyone do that? Now,
amazing. It goes for 12 minutes. You know I love a 12-minute read.
You do. You love a 12-minute 12-inch.
I do.
It's always been said.
It's always been said. My 12 inches need to go for 12 minutes minimum.
That's it. It's minimum and maximum. Just on the dot. All right. Now, this whole moment with Derek was the first time Mariah experienced real intimacy. I think we've lost you.
I've gone already.
And she'd replay it over and over again in her head, like me, with every relationship I've ever had.
Oh, don't.
I'm kidding. I've never had a relationship.
No, that's like, I feel that's a true thing. It's sad.
What's intimacy? I used to actually, there is a Cause song called Intimacy.
Oh, God. Do we have
and
to
everyone's
no,
we always Cause chat.
Cause chat. I feel like can you have like we need an audio hashtag so people who are triggered by the cause, like me, can mute it in their minds.
All right, are you ready? I'll do it. It's No, I'll keep it quick. There was just a song called There was a song called Intimacy, and the lyric is everybody's looking for intimacy. I'm like, where'd he go? Because I was 9. I didn't understand. I hope they found him.
You thought it was the cat.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to name my first...
pussy. Her name's Intimacy.
Yeah, I'm going to name my first child Intimacy. So stupid.
Oh, that's why I always loved Tony Piren's Intimate album.
Oh.
That was the name of it. That was the name of
really?
the album. Tony Piren's Intimate album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where Kylie stole that. She's like, I'm inspired by Tony Piren from Australia's Funniest Home Videos. Now, Mariah says that while the show of her marriage with Tommy was over, there was still the meet and greet to get through.
Yeah, dismantling the stage.
Right. So this is kind of alluded to. Then Mariah moves into a hotel on the Upper East Side. Just get that in there. And she kept on. She's like, I'm going to keep on with the therapizing. We're still going to do that for now. Stalker Raya then heard that Derek was in Puerto Rico. She announced to Tommy that at their next therapy session that she simply must go away with her assistant, darling. And off she went.
Stalking.
Just a little bit. So she dragged her poor assistant to the popular dance club Egypto.
Yes.
Which was designed like an Egyptian temple. Very Anthony Cleopatra.
This is just like that time me and my friend Peter went to the Gold Coast.
Exactly
and
like
in
that.
the Aztec themed hotel.
This is all fine. I'm
where
sure
they had a
nothing's
Judge Dredd
problematic.
pinball table that did not work.
Just like in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Now, no meeting was orchestrated, but Mariah just knew Derek would be there. So she made sure that the assistant booked her own room at the pub down the road. I imagine in my head it's the Imperial from Blue Heelers.
I said the Imperial from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I was like, yeah, that's down the road. I can walk there.
That'll work. Now, Mariah informed Derek that she had secured a hideaway and that they should go through the back door
matron
of the club to get there. Just to avoid security, darling, and pregnancy.
That's how she managed to keep her vows.
Oh my God.
I never promised not to do that.
She said, I learned this from Jada Pinkett.
What in the Pinkett?
Oh my God, this is too much. We are officially cancelled.
What do you mean?
So,
you're implying that we had not been already.
Yeah, that's so true. So, okay, they laid for the night in one embrace, engaging in one single long kiss. It was the sexiest moment without sex.
Without sex.
No sex.
Without sex.
So, okay,
No sex.
one single long kiss that lasts 8 hours sounds kind of awful. What's that squidging noise? Oh, I can tell that that's uncut
How's
because
this ASMR?
I can hear the lube. But seriously, 8 hours. Like, imagine just how awkward it would be just just so the family know, I took my headphones out because I couldn't stand it. But I'm just imagining you couldn't breathe. You'd want a snack halfway through, surely.
Yeah, that's why I think there was more than kissing going on.
Oh. No, we do get some...
What was she kissing?
Oh my God. His lips, obviously. So we get some smidges of My All, which I'm hoping she sang directly into his mouth. She's like, hey, I have an idea.
No, his special microphone.
We've all seen, what's that movie? Something Short Bus. We've all seen Short Bus. Now, Mariah used this whole moment as another coup on behalf of her heart, writing this song, she meant. Mm-hmm. She felt a new level of creativity. She had real experience to draw from. She truly felt, as she said in the song, that she was risking her life just by writing it. That yes. The song is about life and death. She didn't want it to be schmaltzy, darling. It needed to be strong and simple.
Yes. It's such a good song.
So, I mean, there's more to come, but you got a bit of My All moment. How are you feeling about this?
Oh, well, what's happening.
It's an origin story.
It's an origin story. It's the origin of My All, and I have split in half.
You literally gave your all. You gave your whole.
Oh.
She
play
played
her songs up there.
It'll just sound like it's underwater.
I do have underwater headphones. I could probably jam them in.
Yeah. Oh my God. But will you fit Tommy and Don in there?
No.
So she played the song to Tommy and Don, the chairman of Columbia Records.
Yeah.
And Don knew it was a hit.
Don knew. Don knew.
Yeah, Don is good. Tommy knew it could. Tommy knew it could never be about him.
Oh.
And My All was a hit.
Platinum.
Jamash the Dream and Floyd Money Mayweather said so.
Yeah. And not just that, they said later on it's still their favourites of her songs ever. She'd
already started work on Butterfly, but the experience with Derek made everything feel fresher, more layered. She brought Darling. She brought in P. Puff Diddy Daddy Combs, Stevie J and Q-Tip in to begin what was to
I wish they
become
were
the
all-
first single.
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs. I wish it was Stevie P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs.
All right. P. Puff, Diddy Daddy Combs, Stevie J. P. Puff, Diddy Daddy Combs, and Q-Tip P. Diddy Daddy Combs.
Thank you.
She brought them in to begin what was to be the first single, Honey.
Yes,
sampling, just like. It's almost like the chapter name. That's insane.
I know. The synchronicity is killing me.
Synchronized swimming, as she does in the video. Now, this song was sampling Body Rock by Treacherous 3 and Hey DJ by world's famous Supreme Team.
Oh.
Little did they know it was a shout out to DJ Derek Jeter Girl.
Oh, hey DJ.
Insert Honey lyrics. So when Mariah, what was that laugh? When Mariah played Honey for Tommy, he bitterly said, "Well, I'm glad you were so inspired."
Oh.
And Mariah was like, "Now a warning?
Now.
I mean, now you're mad?" That was a little Death Becomes Her moment. I was just Mariling. It's fine. Now you're mad? Why didn't he get mad about Fantasy or Dream Lover? It was blatantly obvious I wasn't talking about Tommy in that song.
No.
As we've pondered, she wasn't talking about anyone real.
No,
They were
made up.
imagined characters.
That's why there was fantasy and a dream lover.
Yes.
They were
People that
made up
scum it.
people
Exactly.
from her fantasies and dreams.
Do you know what is a real thing?
What?
A butterfly.
It is a real thing.
Yeah. So that makes sense. We've
Honey
figured it
is
out.
a real thing.
Honey is a real thing.
It's bee jizz, but it's a real thing.
I thought it was bee poo.
It's not jizz. No, it's their dinner. They make it for dinner. They eat it.
Really?
Yes. We're
they
stealing
take it-
from them.
So wait, okay. So the bees go to the little flowers.
Yes.
Are they dandelions? No, they're not. Are they?
It's any flower. They just love pollen.
Oh.
They just bang out for
So
pollen.
then
They collect the
they
pollen.
whiz it.
They
And
collect
then
the
they
pollen in their
zhuzh
knees
it.
because they
They-
wear little insect cargo pants. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
Makes sense.
That's the bee's knees. That's where the pollen is. I'm not making this up. That's true. They
it's
collect
making
things in their
so much
knees. And then they and then they take it back home. This is only the women do this, by the way. The men are not involved in the collecting of pollen.
I thought it was the men, and then they take it to the queen.
No. The queen is the boss woman. Like, so she's Queen Latifah. And the rest is everyone else in the prison and in Chicago.
Right.
And the men...
Lip
only-
shits.
the men only have one job, which is to impregnate the queen and make more babies.
Oh.
So... That, you know, when
Well,
you
they're
get
not doing their
stung-
job very well because the bees are dying out.
I know. You know when
Fucking
you get
men.
stung by a bee, it dies,
Yes.
as opposed to a wasp. It just keeps going back for more. It's the same when they jizz. They jizz and they die. They go, ah! Imagine how
seems
much
so
better that would
familiar.
be. Like the next day, no awkward conversation in the morning, not wondering if you had to make them breakfast or not.
Maybe that's why
Just
a certain
pop them out
relationship
with
was.
the wheelie bin.
Maybe that's why a certain relationship was short-lived. Anyway.
Anyway.
So until Derek, everything was a little bit of a fantasy, but he was real. Mariah also mentions that once again the whole too urban shit was said, to which she says, "And yeah, I wasn't ever going back." And she didn't. And it actually did make me want to ask you, as a fan of Mariah, this was long before, much of the tea was spilt, because, of course, where we're up to at Daydream Butterfly,
Yes.
she wasn't allowed to say anything. So as a fan, was the shift into, like, Daydream and then Butterfly exciting? Was it jarring? Was it both?
It
Did
was
you
all
understand
of those things. It was confronting, because it's like, also radio at the time, like if you had a rap version, like a rap section in your song, they would cut it out in Australia anyway. Like we would just chop that bit, which feels racist.
Yeah, the even Gwen Stefani hit "Let Me Blow Your Mind" was just Gwen Stefani singing a chorus over and over. Just went on and on.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on, especially in the old days when we still had. Remember Mix? They played no rap on Mix. I think there was even like their Mix FM in Melbourne was like that. One of their catchphrases for a while was no
really?
rap.
Oh my God.
I think I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. So that was like, so it kind of felt like a bit of a shift, a bit of a gear change for Mariah. But, you know, we're talking about someone who is constantly inventing in her remixes. So it was just like, you know, when we were talking about the Daydream album, and I was excited that she included the David Morales Daydream interlude, that bit of remix. I was like, oh, well, this is just her having this more creative side where she's, you know, using guest rappers and using more kind of samples and stuff in her remixes and just bringing those into the main albums. Sure. So for me, it was like, yeah, it was like a bit of a gear change, but it was like because I had been listening to all the singles and loving them as much as the albums. I think I was kind of like, oh, well, this is fine. I'm fine with this.
It was the courtesy finger you needed.
It was the courtesy finger I needed. You're right. You can't go for a triple DP without a couple of courtesy fingers.
And that's a good point, because I perhaps it was more of the casual lambs who just had the albums, maybe not the singles. Perhaps
anyone who only likes the ballads was not going to enjoy it. They were going to find
Where's Ken Lee?
Where's Ken Lee?
Yeah.
They were not going to enjoy it, but that's what it is to follow an artist. And, you know,
you'd much rather someone take risks and try, even if it doesn't work, than do the same thing over and over again.
It's just, you know, you don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. You do want to hear an artist changing. Like, it's like, you know, David Bowie is one of the most amazing creators of all time. And, you know, during the 80s, when all of his peers from the 60s and 70s were doing, you know, very middle of the road stuff, or, you know, Elton John was doing a Lion King soundtrack and all this kind of stuff. And David Bowie was doing batshit crazy, weird, like electronic hard dance music, or he was doing his weird Tin Machine experiment. And, you know, hardcore Bowie fans love all that stuff as much as everything else he did. Yeah. But the, you know, radio stations hate it. So they're shitty at it because they just want to be able to go, we've got the new David Bowie single.
Yeah.
And they go like, oh, we can't play that. And it's the same with Mariah, I think. It's like, here's the new Mariah with old dirty bastard. So, yeah, I think record company execs would hate it. Radio would hate it. And probably the casual fans would probably go, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved all the kind of craziness. And for me, it was like a gateway to other kinds of music.
Sure.
Yeah. If you're open to that kind of thing, then you're going to find the stuff you like in it. But I totally think there would have been people that she shed in various parts of the world who are racist.
Yeah, sure. Oh, God. But you know what? With a little video we're about to get into, maybe she gained a few fans. Mm-hmm. So Honey was Mariah's first video that she had full creative license over.
Yes.
She wanted a mini comedy action thriller, which was possible thanks to its insane $2 million budget.
Insane.
So my first question is, how? Even though I know she was the number one Sony girl, which she mentions, she was also divorcing old mate. Yeah. So how did that get through? Like, I suppose I'll give you the biggest budget you've ever had.
Because she's, you know, it's like that. Even now, what's the best way to kind of promote a new album's coming out? It's, you know, you throw all your money at publicity. And back then, publicity was seeing your video played constantly on television. And that was an investment in promotion for the whole album.
So she swears the gangster character with crazy hair wasn't based on Tommy. Her look,
everyone was saying at the time.
Her look was inspired by Bond girl Ursula Andress. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And finally, she was able to whip out some buzz.
Oh, the buzz got right out there.
Out. Now we will of course cover this fully in our Butterfly episode, which I think will be coming very soon. While they filmed the video in Puerto Rico, and I just wrote in brackets, more backdoor. I never read back over my notes, so I just find myself laughing at the stupid things I do. The first time around. Now, so while they were filming in Puerto Rico, Tommy would call Mariah's manager incessantly, while they were...
You're going to piss off that person who hates it when you sing.
I know, we'll get that.
Hello, listeners who hate the singing of Posh.
Sorry for your ears. Now, while they were separated, I know. Don't worry, we're touching on it. While they were separated, while they were separated, Mariah was still the top Sony artist, darling. Mm-hmm. The manager would report, but not give a blow by blow. And honey, there are just too many jokes in that to go there.
I'm looking from side to side, not knowing what that's about.
The blow by blow.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was that happening in the back door?
Mariah's only disappointment with Honey was that notorious Biggie B.I.G. Z-Snap never made it onto the remix.
I know. This is devastating.
So they had not met, but there were reports that they had beef because of his song Dreams of Fucking an R&B Bitch.
Yeah.
Which once I read that, I thought, oh, that old tune. I remember. Yes. The classic. So within this song, he said, Mariah Carey's kind of scary, which is kind of a fun rhyme. But I was kind of scary. What does that mean? Fuck him.
Yeah. So, Mariah Carey is nearly 6 feet tall in heels.
Yeah.
I would be scared.
And talented as shit. So it's like, I'd be scared too. So Puffy called Biggie and put Mariah on the phone where he said, nah, babes, I was only joking, lols.
It's just
and so
giggles, mate.
Yeah.
So he something that rhymed with scary.
Scary.
And Mariah Carey was it.
It's just that British slang that they do.
B.I.G. was not pretty.
What does the B stand for?
Oh, the notorious British.
Exactly. I mean, you can call him to find out, but I don't think he'll answer. So
his phone got cut off.
Yeah. He didn't pay his bill. No. After this phone call, he and Mariah were cool. But anyway, then he died. Okay, Google, play One Sweet Day.
Oh.
What ended up happening was the remix featuring Mace and the LOX or Lox was a smash. So this was very interesting because I thought to myself, where have I heard of LOX before?
Oh,
so it's just so familiar. And then I remembered.
Are you pro-Lox?
They featured heavily in a little song called Regular from the Block.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they're LOXing all over that song.
Yes.
Yeah. So she probably doesn't know them anymore.
Well, no, she named them, so...
And Puffy. So, I mean, this is... Yeah.
I mean, people have got to earn a living. Mariah has moved on and nurturing other talent now. She's released this talent to go and fix up some other poor people who need
some regular people.
Yeah, who need a hand with their...
It's like charity.
With their flat sound.
I got the best. I got the best of them. Bye-bye. Bye. Now, after
I've milked them, and you can now have what's
milked
left.
mind, darling. After the fake separation, and of course the sexy new songs, Tommy knew that the marriage was over. OVAH.
You spelled it with an AH.
It did. Mariah got a lawyer, got some papers, Tommy signed, and Mariah got her ass on a jet to the Dominican Republic where mutual consent divorces for foreigners were processed with the quickness.
The quickness.
She saw a judge, got her freedom papers, and headed to Tampa to watch Derek play T-ball.
He doesn't play T-ball.
No, whatever. I don't care.
He's a professional.
Sorry.
Strictly
to watch him play professional T-ball. My apologies.
It's rounders. He's playing rounders. The big paddle.
So Mariah has a butterfly lyric moment. And then Mariah is ready for her happily ever after with DJ. Neither Mariah or Derek wanted to cheapen their romance by cheating. Because Mariah knew heaps of women with regular names that totes would have gotten their bang on that rooftop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of woman that would do graveyard with an ex who's been married and had kids since.
Oh, my God. To a woman with the same regular name.
Kind of regular business.
Regular Ghana.
I can only yell out one name during sex, so that's all I can do now.
So it's got to be a regular name.
If you want to fuck Batman, you got to be a regular name bitch.
But no, Mariah is certainly not regular. She wanted to wait for how she wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. Her fairy tale fingering.
Fingering is just such a
high school.
Confronting word. It's not as confronting as your little cheek slops, but it's ASMR, but real bad. Like it's oh no, it's intrusive. So Mariah says we're getting to a serious quote. We have to stop laughing.
I can't help it. I just dribbled a little.
It does happen. You sprung a leak.
This is brought to you by Kate Spade New York.
Hey, this is Letty Nash from Se Regalan Dudas podcast.
Are you starting to feel those summer vibes, or is it just us?
You all know I love playing around with my looks because it gives me the freedom to express myself. And the new Spade Flower Jacquard collection, a classic Kate Spade New York print in juicy new hues, is going to be perfect for that.
In my case, accessorizing my everyday looks with classic but unique and timeless pieces is my thing. Like the Lemon Novelty Collection that adds a little twist to every summer look.
This summer, Kate Spade New York is right there with us. The brand's 30th anniversary this year is bringing on the summer adventures with a new collection inspired by a day at the beach. I'm ready to wear the collection's breezy dresses.
Could it get any better? Discover and shop the summer collection at katespade.com.
Please. So Mariah says, I'd had so many threatening experiences with men and I had no real concept of choosing and being chosen on my own terms, which is very depressing. Mariah had never been hungry for sex. Not on my wedding night, not ever.
Oh, that's sad.
Right?
Although to get through that dress, you'd have to be really fucking horny. Like, I'm not up for it anymore, honey. I'm only on to the third layer of this cake dress.
That was the point. She's like, if I just wear 8 dresses.
Get a chastity belt on under here. You're never getting in.
Yeah. So instead, Mariah saved her passion for music.
Yes.
But in this, Tommy was right. Mariah was inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Inspired to get that D. Mariah wanted Derek's honey-dipped skin all over her. So this is when I actually...
Oh, I see.
This is when I actually got it. I was like...
Just like...
It does bring us back to my slightly problematic way of comparing skin tones to food, which you did say we're not supposed to do.
I know, but Mariah does it, and this is where we are. It's you know what it is. It's just that it fetishizes your race, basically.
I was about to say that if it was done on me, I would be fetter, and then you said fetishize. It was a whole thing.
I'm a Scotch finger biscuit
because I'm Greek, as we've discussed.
I mean, I've got an actual Italian surname, and I'm not Italian.
I mean, how can you say I'm not Greek when I've watched all 6 seasons of Xena like 19 times?
I know, and you've seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding too.
And I love it.
And also, you're really busy at that back door.
No, I've moved on. I'm
like
dubbing them off. Okay, so DJ confessed that he was in on their little meeting with the Armani and the whatnot. Mm-hmm. He revealed that he and a friend had posters on the wall of their bedroom. The friends was of Alyssa Milano. sorry. Let me say that at a more regular level. Alyssa Milano!
Now, I don't know if we've ever mentioned it in this podcast, but you're a bit weirdly obsessed with Charmed.
We've only mentioned Alyssa's Japanese pop career.
Right.
I don't think we've gone into the Charmed of it all.
You're she's up there with Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, she's above Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, above.
Oh, yes.
The Milano.
I have breakdowns about who would I meet if I was on like Hard Quiz and they were like, the prize is you can meet Kylie or Alyssa Milano. I'm like, I don't know.
You should come on Hard Quiz with Alyssa Milano as your top.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes.
Yes. But as we've discussed
got a
in
Mariah
text,
Carey contestant coming up soon.
so I actually imagined this bedroom being like if we grew up together, this is what our bedroom would have looked like.
I would
Alyssa
have
and
had my
Mariah
poster.
Yeah.
And you would have had your Alyssa Milano
Yeah.
poster.
Had like wall to wall Alyssa and Mariah. Alyssa Mariah. And I was just, because you texted me saying I'm going to split in half at some point in this. I did.
Are you rent asunder?
God. You know what? I'm just really happy that Mariah knows Alyssa Milano.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
Fantastic.
I know.
So basically, Derek's plan had been to infiltrate the New York T-ball team and steal Mariah away from Tony Sony, Derek's nickname for Tommy, and then they'd get married.
Yeah.
Now, Mariah loved this plan, but just to be clear, he didn't steal her from Tommy. No. She liberated herself.
Yes.
Mariah is very insistent on that.
Yep.
Now, of course, there was nothing salacious about her relationship with Derek.
No. She waited until she got her papers.
Even the night they consummated.
They drank consomme?
Do the cheeks. Do the cheeks. Oh, okay, that's enough. That would have been it. You went too long. They wouldn't have lasted that long.
What are you talking about? They're still kissing from 3 weeks ago.
That's true. They haven't. They've not. Yeah, their orifice is still intact. Okay, so the night that they consummated, his sister was there.
That's the end of the consummation.
Is it anything like constipated? Because I think I'm that now. Oh. Was it as awful for you as it was for me? Just like honey. Okay, but then there's a whole moment where it's like, so anyway, the night we consummated, his sister was there.
I know!
And then so my notes for this was, wait, what? Was she watching? How close are they? She's in 8th grade.
But then 8th grade. You said it was an 8th grade affair.
But then I thought, oh my God, it's even worse because that's way older than Mariah. So this is fucked up, you guys. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
I'm pretty sure DJ has a fairly, sizable bit of property down there.
Oh, is this a thing that's been?
No, in Florida.
Is that his sister's name?
It's a large house.
His sister, Florida.
No.
No, okay.
Shush. Making it weird. You're ruining it.
Is that where Tampa is in Florida?
Yeah, Tampa's in Florida.
I don't geography. I don't geograph. So the morning after, Mariah decided to make DJ breakfast, whatever that is. Mariah was staring at 3 lonely eggs in the fridge when the old sister found her, and they laughed about Mariah's foiled rom-com plans. Now, this is where I got a little stuck. Mariah could make like 12 meals out of 1 Ritz cracker.
Yeah.
She couldn't think of anything to do with 3 eggs?
Not between 2 people. Well, 3 now, the sister's there. It's 1 egg each.
All right. Not just simply not enough.
No.
Now, Mariah loved Derek's entire family.
Yes. Oh my
this is
God.
This is very interesting. All my life, I had blamed the dysfunction in my family on race.
Yeah.
But of course, meeting old mate's family dispelled this myth for Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
These people actually liked each other.
I know.
Derek's sister made him tea and put it in a teacup. I mean, this was new. Oh!
You're not serving having it on my shoulder. Well,
I don't
okay.
understand.
It's a new way of doing it, I guess.
Oh, this must be Floridian. I don't understand.
Do things differently in Florida.
Yeah. She's like, I saw that once on the Golden Girls.
No, that was a cheesecake.
I love cheesecake. I know I want cheesecake. So Mariah realised her family's dysfunction goes beyond black and white. Mm-hmm. Derek's family gave her an example of a mixed family that actually worked. And this was the most lasting thing that Derek gave her in their brief relationship.
Oh, so sad now.
I was like, Google, play Don't Speak. Don't say it, Mariah. We don't want to know.
No.
Don't tell us because it hurts.
Play mail.
So Mariah had to go back to NYC.
Yep.
Everything was still kind of okay. Derek gave her some truckies and a present, a couple of presents, and took her to the airport where she stepped out, cheeks flush, lips plump, and her hair still holding on to that morning frolicking. Did Mariah just throw out a sex as frolicking?
Well, her hair had a frolic.
Because I was about to play a no-no just there. Like, frolicking, no-no.
I don't know.
Then we get 9 paragraphs of aeroplane attire.
Oh my God. So much plain talk and a giant toy.
So much.
Giant stuffed toy.
So much. And then we get the quote, we sipped champagne and toasted to acquiring freedom papers and finally getting a good shot of vitamin D. I didn't know whether to squeal or have a little vomit.
She meant the sun. There was the sunshine.
Yeah,
and
I
you get
did know,
vitamin D
yes.
from the sun. Not D as in the
whole
D.
thing was, I think it was for me. I was like, clearly Mariah is using both definitions.
Oh, yeah.
But it surprised me because
That she's that camp?
it did. No, not that she's that camp. That, like, I don't know. It seemed like Mariah would go, I don't know, something more subtle. I was like,
She was talking about the sun and the other thing. But she was talking about the sun, the vitamin D you get from the sun and the other thing.
I'm not used to Mariah flaunting the vitamin D
The
references.
D.
The
Vitamin D.
references. I'm thinking of D. But sadly, like most vitamins, if you don't get them daily, you're likely to wither and die.
Yeah. Sad.
Which is what happened to their relationship. Single tear. For Mariah, it was a critical transition. For Derek, it was maybe a dream come true or an accomplishment. Google play Never Had a Dream Come True by S Club 7. The playlist is strong today, my friends.
These are terrible, terrible songs.
How dare you? They're amazing songs. Brit Award winning, even, maybe. Never Had a Dream Come True is probably the only S Club 7 song that Americans know. So that was for the American listeners. So the relationship lingered for Mariah. Mm-hmm. One time when feeling melancholy, she lamented in her best Joan Crawford, right? She lamented in her best Joan Crawford voice. Do you want to do this? Do you have this quote? Because I feel like you're going to Joan Crawford it.
Do you want me to Joan Crawford?
Yes.
The mother loved me. The sister loved me. The father loved me. It could have been perfect. That was more Bette Davis, really.
That's it. Do it again.
The mother loved me. The sister loved me. The father loved me. No wire hangers ever. Oh, no. That's Faye Dunaway. I'm sorry.
Now, there was so much energy as in that performance. There was so much energy and splashes, darling, running through Mariah that her champagne glass shattered, darling.
No.
Shattered. I didn't get that until I read the second one. I kind of just was like, oh, she had so much energy and champagne in her. No. I broke the glass.
Yeah.
Now she took this intensity and put it into a song. Insert Cry Baby. So we get a whole crybaby moment.
We've got a triple origin. This is a triple DP of song origin.
It is. Yeah.
I am sore from all of this.
Yeah. A bit torn.
Yeah. Crybaby is also one of my favourite songs.
Oh, there you go.
Of all time. And it's just like it's got the creepiest opening you've ever heard. I love it. It's got Snoop Dogg going,
I know.
Why are you crying? You're so beautiful. You're too beautiful to be crying. I was playing it with my sister's like, oh, Snoop, yuck. What is he doing? And I went, I know, he's great.
She'll never order from Menulog again.
But yeah, but this is such a mood, hearing this song.
But as the queen of taking a morsel and making many meals from it.
Just like in this chapter, 3 songs came out of this one experience.
Mariah
1 bit of vitamin D, 3 songs.
She milked and mined that vitamin D.
She milked that D.
And she mined it. Not sure how that works. She got a torch and down she went. Yeah. So she milked and mined her time with DJ for much more than it was worth.
She put the mind in there because if she said I milked DJ, it's like, no, that sounds really bad.
So Butterfly was released and has since sold over 10 million copies.
Good girl.
Now, Mariah wraps up this chapter by telling us that Derek was a love in her life, not the love of her life. She quotes Marilyn. She talks about how great fantasy is, both the idea and her song.
Yeah.
And tells us there is no dream lover because only Baby Jesus is her all.
Yes.
Play my all. All right.
And now that you're back from having played my all, this is the problem with this podcast. I imagine people pausing and having to just play the songs all the time.
Anytime I say something, their Google goes and plays X Club 7. Are we ready? Are we ready for Mariah meeting us?
Oh, yeah.
Mariah made it. All right, so last week we had 3 chapters, so we had 3 scores. For The Man from Kalamazoo, I gave it 9, you gave it 9. The Lamley, Infinity.
Infinity! We've been infinity.
Yes. For Shooketh Ones, I gave that 10. You gave it infinity. I can't squeal. I can squeal way too much, apparently, but I can't squeal like you can squeal. And the Lamley gave that infinity.
Yeah. It needed.
Now, the last show at Sing Sing, I gave that a 9.
The horrible butter knife incident.
Fab gave it a GT Infinity-O.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lamley, it was a tie between Infinity and a general 5 to 8. Nothing wrong with a 5 to 8. Just put that out there. So for Just Like Honey, Mariah meatiness, do you give this chapter?
Well, you know, as it was going along, I was like, oh, look, it's good, but I feel like we've had so much build-up to Derek. As always happens in these things, it feels a little bit of an anticlimax at the end when you finally get vitamin D after waiting that long.
You didn't get your 12 inches in for 12 minutes, so...
So I was going with a 9, and then she wrote Honey, My All, and Cry Baby, and now it's My All Cryfinity Baby.
It's fair. It's fair. It's so dumb. So I was feeling the same as you. I was kind of going, oh yeah, it's this and it's this. But then we boarded a plane to the Dominican Republic simply to get a quickie divorce. I was like, shit, she meant this. She was like, I got him to sign it. Fucking run!
I am getting vitamin fucking D! I'm gonna milk it! I'm gonna just keep that snake venom in my pocket until I make a new song with it.
Ew. So I had to go Poshfinity.
You have to.
You can't get on a plane for a quickie divorce without getting Poshfinity.
Look, it deserved Poshfinity purely for breaking a champagne glass in the middle of a Joan Crawford fit.
Yeah, I mean, had she broken it with her vocals, I would have been.
Like
it would
when
have
she
been double,
opened the
triple
bottle.
DP Infinity. Yes. Double, triple D Infinity P. So I will put this up for the Lamley to see what they think, and they can have a little there. The remix. The remix. What is your remix for this week?
My remix is adopt Derek's family. You don't have to be going out with him to adopt the family. Just move in. Just move in.
I'm here now.
Like
You're off.
You're mine. I own you. You're my family. I'm paying for this.
She kicks Patricia out of the pad and moves them in.
Get out, Patricia. I found a better family. They like each other.
So my remix is sort of, as always, a 2 rolled into a 1. I definitely wouldn't have invited the sister to watch the vitamin D shot. And if Mariah if Mariah can make one morsel into many meals, then why couldn't she turn 3 eggs into an omelette?
Well,
I just want to help her out.
That's all that was in there. Just the 3 eggs.
But she's just been out milking. Add a little milk.
Not that milk.
I'm sure. Well,
I'm
sure someone has.
Don't try that
add a little, some chives, perhaps, and great, done.
I don't think there were chives. Like, he's a sports person. I don't think there was they just have eggs because they need protein. Like, that's all that was there.
Well, she's just adding more protein.
No, don't.
So...
I shouldn't have said the P word. I'm sorry.
Right? That was on you. The protein was on you. Nothing new. All right. Can take that away, Mariah's lesson. Can take that away. Oh, Mariah's lesson. So, my lesson this week is that no man will ever measure up to the fantasy, darling.
Yes.
Because humans are flawed. So get yourself a career that you're passionate about, and hopefully there'll be some good D along the way.
Look, I totally agree with you. There's no fucking an Instagram filter.
I've tried.
Like, honestly, I see those people on Instagram and I'm just like, I bet you're really dull. And like having sex with an ironing board.
I will say, scrolling through Tinder, as I oft do, I'm looking at this thing going, oh my God, there's so many hot guys. But then I'm like, there's so many hot guys. Yeah. As in, one, they're a dime a dozen, but also, if they're all on here, they're probably not, maybe they want to be on there to just get the vitamin D, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think, you want a relationship? Well, yeah. Anyway, but then I'm on there too, so I'm broken anyway.
Yeah.
What is your lesson?
My lesson is that a promise is a promise. Even a marriage vow that created a toxic union, it's something you hold on to. So when you need D, Dominican Republic, divorce of quickness. That's the double D.
It's the triple D. It's the Dominican Republic divorce.
Dominican Republic divorce and vitamins.
For the D. That's just a triple D.
I do love that she, and she kind of caps it off at the end of the chapter by talking about, the Almighty is her all. And it is that thing. It's like, it's not just a promise to Tommy, to TD Valentine. It was a promise.
Sure, that's a good point.
Made to the Lord. It's a promise made in front of your friends and family.
Maybe she had her fingers crossed at the altar.
I don't think so. Not in that dress. It would have taken 2.5 hours to cross the fingers. Yeah. But yeah, I think also the ring, like it's, she would have cut herself to ribbons trying to cross her fingers with that ring on. But yeah, I think that when you have made a commitment to something, you stick with it. Even if you're 4 hours late for it, you stick to the commitment. Like you eventually go through with it.
We need to hit up a little I don't know her. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone we don't know in this chapter?
Well, you tell me who you don't know.
So what I wrote is we officially don't know Mrs. Mariah Matola. She dead.
She is gone.
Dead.
Yes.
No more Mariah Matola.
I don't think there was ever a Mrs. Matola, frankly. In
fact, maybe.
I think if you ever called someone Mrs. Matola, you might have to find a new job.
I mean, we certainly never called her that. It's a posthumous Mrs. Matola.
R.I.P. Mrs. Matola. I don't think we know the 60s. You've got your theory about the...
She hates hippies.
She hates hippies.
Yeah.
I think she hates the 60s. Because she doesn't know the 60s.
She knows Get Smart, though.
Yeah, but did she say
the only thing? She said the 60s sitcom, yeah.
Well, she said...
Maybe she only knows... Maybe it went over into the 70s, so...
Well, she said Ursula Andress in those 70s James Bond movies.
Oh,
Ursula Andress only appeared in one. It was Dr. No in 1962. So, I mean, unless this is just like I can't have seen it. It was 1962. I was born in 1970.
Maybe. 1997.
I don't know.
It'd be really funny if she was like, So in the video for Honey, I was dressed as those Bond girls, you know, like Halle Berry. The one that I saw that came out like 4 years after.
Yeah,
it's fine.
when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I think she doesn't know the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely doesn't know hippies. We know that.
We know
much.
she doesn't know hippies.
Does not know
But
hippies.
yes.
But to be honest, other than that, I mean, I was going to say we officially don't know Tommy anymore, but I think he's coming back.
I know. She doesn't know the manager.
No.
Manager gets no name. And then,
Still doesn't know the assistant. But
know.
the assistant's young. That's all we know now.
But she had that she had a big deal manager for a long time. Like,
okay.
And the fact that they have no name is, I think we have ceased to know the manager.
We might find that out soon too.
Mariah-isms.
We're up to Mariah-isms. So last chapter we I think we've said more, like way worse things with your cheek slops.
Don't milk the Mariah-isms.
So last chapter, we each selected a Mariah-ism and put it to the landlady to vote for their fave. The two options were, I'm not being shady, but he had on pointy shoes and like a tasteful Graceland. Which I actually saw something called Graceland this week and sent you a little text.
I did enjoy the tasteful Graceland.
So the winner was pointy shoes.
Oh, of course it was.
Sorry. Which means I go first. I think what I loved about this particular one, it was beauty school Mariah coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a moment that was shady, but it was out of control. Normally Mariah's very in control with the shade. But it was, I was kind of scary. What does that mean? Fuck him. Because I just feel like it was like, this is what she wants to say about so many other people. So look, there's a few, and I'm curious to see what you come out with, and then we'll discuss.
I was gonna do I sang it as if my life depended on it, which I'm just like, ooh, that is a feeling. Then it was the sexiest moment without sex.
Yeah.
But I think because it's given us so much joy, this episode, I can't go past finally getting a good shot of vitamin D.
Oh my God.
Finally getting a good shot of vitamin D.
I know. That was the thing. I really struggled with that one because I thought it is good. Like it's sexual, which I'm not used to from Mariah, but it is, you know,
it is
giving it to Tommy.
Shady.
It is shady as shit.
Funny.
But there was something that I was like, I think I mentioned it as we were discussing it. I was like, it was so unexpected from Mariah. I haven't put it away in my head yet. I haven't filed it yet.
Well, and you know the other thing, because I listened to it, so it didn't, like, it was just like, oh yeah, she meant sunshine, because she doesn't lean on it. Like, she doesn't, she just kind of leaves it out there. Like, she doesn't take a pause. She doesn't do it the way we do it. Finally getting a good shot of
vitamin cock.
Of good vitamin D. Ooh.
So yeah, look,
vitamin
it was
D. Just the choice of words, finally.
Yeah, I know, and this is the thing.
Good vitamin D, as opposed to like, that awful vitamin D I had to have a few times in my marriage.
And that was the thing that, like, so in my head I was like, this is probably the one. If I don't choose it, you probably will, and it may in fact win. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I had to go. You couldn't
imagine Mariah was that dirty.
No,
I
think
think
that's what it is.
Underneath the Stars was about losing your virginity.
Well, it was fantasy, darling. But you know what? Things like that just make me kind of cringe. Even though I can talk about triple DPs, but then actual sex, no.
I know.
No, I don't want to know about it. But yeah, like I said, the other ones we had was Tommy assumed I was having a sexual affair, even though technically I wasn't yet. yet.
Technically.
I'd never been hungry for sex. Yeah. I'd never been hungry for sex. Not on my wedding night. Not ever. And Dream of It. It was blatantly obvious I wasn't talking about Tommy in that song. But yeah, no, I went with mine because I'm going to stick with it because it just feels, it's like the bottle popped for a second. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Fuck him. At the end of the podcast. Podcast, baby. Almost there. Almost home, you could probably say. You could say. But you won't because of copyright. Copyright. That's a no-no. All right, so next Mariah Monday, I'm thinking we dive into a little butterfly.
Look,
I think it's time.
Go there. I think we may need, like, it might be a triple DP of Butterfly. We might need, because there are a lot of songs on that album.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
We'll
play
clips,
that by ear.
remixes.
We'll see how we go.
We'll see how we go. But then after we've finished our bonus detour into Butterflyopolis, it's a whole city.
It's in Greece.
We're going to make a visit to the president.
We are.
I'm worried.
Trying to think of one that I'd actually want to visit.
I'm worried that it's going to be a visit to the president of the label.
And that will bring us to the end of Sing Sing.
I know. We're getting to... Oh, my God. We're about to hit season 3 of this podcast.
It feels like season 18 at this point. But before we go, I did want to mention that we finally got a little iTunes review.
Oh, to the haters?
Oh, they both everything us.
Oh, excellent.
So this is from Glam Peaches, 5 stars. Thank you very much. With the title, They're So Funny. So we have spoken to Glam on the Twitters.
Yes.
Now I'm just going to read the review and just see what comes out.
Okay.
If you want to listen to some lambs that will make you laugh, this is the podcast for you. They talk all things Mariah Carey and a little more that'll help round out their stories and bring some more depth to their conversations. Both are very experienced in entertaining, and it's obvious. They have a beautiful, friendly chemistry and great comedic timing. This theme song takes a little bit more than a few times to get used to. Might be the optimistic layering and harmonies, or it might be the banshee scream intertwined. After a while, you start to laugh along with it, but don't let that fool you into thinking that it's the only time you're going to have your ears cry from screeching. Other than ear assault, it's a great podcast.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh my God. So firstly, the first...
Not even me.
I know, this is what's so funny. So the first half of that's really nice things, actually. I was like, that's really nice. We do actually really appreciate it.
But you are correct. She's a fucking annoying bitch when she sings.
How very dare. So I should actually...
She won't let any vitamin D into it.
That's exactly right. Not lubed. So I should actually... Because we were like, we are going to read whatever comes out. So we did. Yeah. I am taking this on. And you know what? I take it in the way it was intended, as a compliment. Because going into this, we had exchange... I don't know, you'd have to go back and look at it. But I remember saying to you, I'm going to do these interludes because Mariah deserves interludes, darling.
She does.
She doesn't just want like a podcast section. It's interludes. And I said, I've got to do it in a way that is ridiculous, over the top. For us,
and respectful to Mariah.
And respectful. So it was, for us, it was too much.
Without actually tearing her copyright apart.
Exactly. And for us, too much was the brief.
Yeah.
So when I was doing it, I was like, what is just silly and ridiculous, but still respectful? I'm just going to layer random vocals. Yeah. And it'll be really funny if I try to do a whistle tone, but like a really, really bad one. And then one just kind of came out that is a banshee squeal. But I was like, well, I have to leave it in now. But I am wondering if perhaps on different headphones, because in my headphones, it's not that loud. And I'm a little concerned now that perhaps in other people's, they're all at work going, help, he's doing more squealing.
Help me, the theme music's still going.
Still going. But that's what I love is...
Do you know what it is? It's because it also gets layered with, hello, Lamely!
I was going to say, this is what made me laugh, because then
My voice is so annoying.
Then there's the Get Smart squeals that I did, but then there's just the general squeal, everyday squeal of Adam Richard. I can't do the in-between.
There's squealing in this podcast.
I know. I can't do anything in between my speaking voice and Banshee. but you can.
Yeah, I can get up high.
But thank you so much, Glenn Peaches, for the 5 stars. We do appreciate and love the interaction.
And we will read
I do apologise for the squeals. But
any review you give us
there.
on iTunes. So please, 1 star and tell us how terrible we are.
Don't do that. It hurts my feelings. If a 5 star is that, oh my God, please stop singing. Imagine what a 1 star is.
Yeah.
And just P.S. If you don't like the singing, don't mind my album that's coming out.
Do you do a whistle tone?
I do. But it is produced. It's different. They've actually made sure that it's not hurting people's ears. But of course, as always, please join us on the Instagram, the Twitters, the Facebooks at Me I Am a Memoir. And you can contact us on the Gmail at, what is it? Me I Am a Memoir at gmail.com.
I am a memoir at gmail.com.
I think that's everything.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for my ASMR.
I hope that overtakes the squealing. Surely. It's just going to be... You'll cut out the whistle from the end of the intro and it'll just be that. The squealing version of that. But yes, I should point out that it is also kind of meant to be tongue-in-cheek, darling. So...
Stop trying to justify it. It's terrible and you know it. I agree.
I am an Adelaide Fringe Award-winning vocalist. How dare you? That took me 3.5. That took me 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes of blood, sweat, and tears to do those interludes.
Well, for more award-resistant podcasting, we'll be here with you next week.
All right. Bye, Lamely.
Bye, Lamely. It looks even worse because my head's out of frame.
Oh, my God. That's so bad.
This episode is brought to you by Kate Spade New York. I'm Jen. And I'm Jess. And we're the hosts of the beauty podcast Fat Mascara. And we're ready for that summer state of mind. If you're feeling the same, Kate Spade New York is right there with you. The brand celebrates its 30th anniversary this year, and they're bringing on the summer adventures with a new collection inspired by a day at the beach. We're loving their Spade Flower Jacquard collection, a classic Kate Spade New York print in new hues. And there's also a lemon novelty collection that adds a little zest to every summer look with timeless bags, breezy dresses, and so much more. Wherever the season takes you, whether that's Cannes or Coney Island, get ready to look the part. Discover and shop the summer collection at Kate Spade New York.